Ray, if you could make any final comments that you have and leave me a minute and a half right after that, just for the final sort of facilitation wrap up, that'd be great.
All right. Well, I am not enough of a fool to try to summarize or to top the conversation that's been going on for a day and a half here. It's been incredibly rich. I do want to take us back to a second to what we were trying to do and where we are right now. I also want to acknowledge the expert facilitation from James and his colleagues, both online and offline. This is no simple job, and particularly with a group like this, as complex and diverse as this. I also know, I know the feeling I bet you're having is, can't we get down to one or two agreements or one or two actions? And we can't quite get there. I'm not concerned about that. I have a real distrust for certainty. And my sense is, both for myself, but just having heard everything going on here the last day and a half, is almost everyone, maybe everyone here, is at some point in a process of reflection about, am I doing the right thing? Have I been doing the right? Do I have the right focus? Am I doing the best possible to get to this kind of deep human change that we want to see in the world that we're part of? And I think we're all still somewhere in that. So it doesn't disturb me that we can't quite get to, a complete agreement on the action next. I will say, what we started out to do was really marking the fact that the roundtable had been here for 10 years. These two reports had been here for 10 years. Things are worse off, or not better, in terms of the striking findings of those two reports that really were the reason we started off. And we did not want to mark that 10-year anniversary by dwelling in how bad things were and what hadn't happened. And the planning committee, and I want to thank all of them again, and we called out their names before, but many of them are in the room right now or online, worked really hard to try to figure out, how can we focus on envisioning the way it needs to be, rather than being trapped by why it didn't get all the way where we wanted it to get. And I actually think we did that. And we probably stumbled in a number of ways. Maybe we could have focused more time on the exciting examples we did in the gallery walk yesterday, and flipped the attention to that. You can have a lot of second guessing, and we actually will do that right after this meeting in the roundtable, is to debrief on what worked and didn't work. But I think we actually accomplished this turn toward, where do we have to get, and starting on, and how do we do this and get there, rather than dwelling on the problem and the failures of the past. We honestly weren't sure where this was going to end up. And so that's the thank you that I want to do, beyond thanking. Well, let me first I thank the planning committee. I want to thank the speakers and moderators who've been with us the whole time. Please give them a hand. I mean, they worked very hard. I don't think we've ever worked a smaller group of people harder than we did the last day and a half. Usually people find ways to parachute in and out, and it's been incredibly gratifying to have the principals who were here for the entire session and really getting the through line of this. It really makes for a richer meeting, and we appreciate that. I want to thank all the people online who hung in with us. We're still learning how to blend the online virtual meeting and the in-person meeting. It's tough going back and forth and bringing everybody in, but we thank you both in the room and especially outside the room for hanging in with us and helping us make it work. We will have the video of the full workshop available in 8 to 10 days. We'll post it on the web page. Everybody who registered will send you a link, so you have access to that, and we'll be in touch with you about what the follow-up activities were going to be. The final thing I want to do is thank you on behalf of the roundtable, and I'm always really reluctant. I'm not empowered to speak for the roundtable, and I think there are about 7 of the 25 members left in this room, and a few more online. At this point, we have work to do. We didn't plan for this workshop to be about the roundtable. We planned for it to be about the vision and the state of the field, and had as a kind of secondary aspect, trying to figure out where do we fit in that. This turned out to be much more about the roundtable, and that's great. And that's given us work that we have to do going forward. So we thank you for that. We thank everybody for your contributions and for hanging in here and for the sincerity and commitment that that people have showed. So thank you.
Thank you, Greg. All right, and believe it or not, that clock's a couple minutes fast. We have like 3 minutes. What I'd like everybody to do is please stand up. You can stand up at home too if you want. If you want, you can stand up. And I want us to try to form a circle. So if the people on the inside of this, you could sort of come over here. Yep, awesome. Okay, yep, like a actual, yep, there we go. All right. You don't have to hold hands, like we don't have to do that. You can if you want to, but that's consent is cool. Just make sure that everybody who's in the hand holding wants to do that. All right. So, oh yeah, you're great. So we're going to do the same thing we did yesterday, which is going to say our one word or short phrase that describes something you're taking away from our time together today. So one word or short phrase that describes something you're taking away from our time together today. Those of you online, please write your one word or short phrase into the chat. Right? So I'm going to ask you to.
Exploring. Public will.
Keeping it real.
Clarity.
Solidarity.
Energized.
Confused. Role clarity. Reduce human suffering. Trusting.
Change agents.
Thought-provoking. Hope.
Ready to do the thing.
Reframed.
Lived expertise.
Love.
Discernment.
Learning and staying connected.
Love operationalized.
Stronger bridges. Gratitude and possibility.
North Star.
Let's go right over to Lena.
No more can't be done, or that can't be done.
Love that. So what I want to do is look around this room. And if you're online, visually look at, yeah, we have lots and lots and lots of words up here. I want you to look around the room and imagine the people who are also online. Just want you to see, these are people who are in it with you, who want to do the thing. Like, take a look, like, that's cool. You got people who want to do the thing. But then I want you to turn and face outward. Just turn and face, be in the circle, face out. Because ultimately, what we are looking at internally as the people who want to do the thing, it's about doing it for people who are not in this room. It's about them. Right? It's about the moms and the kids and the grandmas, and like it's about the people who are not here. So as we wrap up, I want us to remember the image of the people who are in it with you, and also remember that ultimately it's about the people who are not here. We're going to go. So my word is go forth and do. Thank you all so much for spending time with us over the course of the past day and a half.